Television drama in the U.S. has long been fascinated with the White House. Starting with The West Wing, there has been a glut in recent years from House of Cards, Madam Secretary and Scandal to Homeland, in which the Oval Office is very much part of the action. Not only do these series offer a sense of intrigue at the highest level, but they serve as an assurance about the high-functioning nature of those in the upper echelons of power. The West Wing was particularly reverential, pandering to the patriotic, quasi-monarchical veneration in which the presidency is held by both liberals and conservatives. Martin Sheen's Jed Bartlett was quick-witted, fluent in Latin and decent to the core. He offered a fictional reproach to the dim wattage of the actual White House incumbent at the time, George W. Bush. Years earlier, however, Sheen had played Greg Stilson, a Senate candidate in the 1983 David Cronenberg film The Dead Zone. Stilson must be thwarted by Christopher Walken's Johnny Smith before he becomes president and triggers a nuclear holocaust with a first strike against Russia. What was once a threat in a horror movie now feels far closer to reality than any of the more recent TV depictions. Donald Trump's ascent has blown the White House drama out of the water. The devious machinations of House of Cards have nothing on his praise, and shout-outs to the worst of the U.S. The far-fetched international dramas of Homeland pale in comparison with Trump's policies regarding Mexico, North Korea and the Middle East. As a character, he is too gross and too incredible to be pitched to TV. Veep, the comedic antithesis to the West Wing, dreamed up many appalling scenarios and characters, but nothing so dispiritingly dreadful as a Trump. I'm so glad I don't do Veep anymore because I don't know how I'd respond to the situation in America, said a gloomy Armando Iannucci after his announcement that he was leaving the series. We are that close to the end of the world. Joy Press, author of the forthcoming book Stealing the Show: How Women Are Revolutionizing Television, is deeply conscious of TV's struggle to keep pace. The Trump presidency has certainly created a problem for writers of political TV drama because reality is moving so quickly in more absurd and unpredictable directions than your average TV show, she says. It doesn't help that the president sometimes acts as if he's hosting a reality show and those around him are inadvertent contestants. But the biggest problem may be that a lot of us are exhausted by the non-stop nature of the news. The challenge for writers of politically tinged TV shows is finding a way to entertain us without adding to the grinding anxiety. Which is why comedy has been most able to take advantage this year. Not just Saturday Night Live, but shows such as Broad City, which did an episode about how one of the characters' post-Trump depression had killed her life. That probably resonated with a lot of people. You suspect that the US TV industry was expecting a Clinton victory in 2016 and had primed its drama accordingly. In the parallel world of Homeland, the president is a woman, although she was hastily invested with what Claire Danes has described as Trumpian qualities. This season's Madam Secretary has seen the Clinton-esque Elizabeth McCord take a high-minded stance over the issue of fake news as she finds herself accused of murdering a foreign minister during a meeting. The show's executive producer, Barbara Hall, said she wanted to show how and why fake news is generated, and how it is used as a political weapon. There are hopes that TV drama can in these dark times provide an example of virtue. Press believes that shows such as Madam Secretary, which depict strong women in power, exhibit more hunger for television to counter-program, to show an alternative reality where women do win and pussy grabbers get ousted. Homeland's Mandy Patinkin, meanwhile, has expressed hope that the show might in a fictional way shed beneficial light on the Palestinian crisis, although such hopes were scotched by Trump's decision to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. The West Wing's creator, Aaron Sorkin, was recently asked about the U.S.'s predicament. In his response, he sounded like one of his own verbose characters: "Our darkest days are always followed by our finest hours." You hope so, but it's also quite possible that Trump has debased the presidency in such a way that it may never recover. He has swamped politics with the values of reality TV, bent on stoking his fanbase, distracted by showbiz ratings on Twitter and perverting self-evident truths once held sacred for the sake of his ravenous ego. He is entertainment, not just for his supporters but his enemies, who feast on the satire of The Daily Show and John Oliver. It is polarizing but fascinating the country. The task for U.S. drama is to recognize the not very pretty picture Trump has made of the political landscape, to prompt the U.S. to take a long, hard look at itself in these gripping, awful, hilarious, wretched times. There is certainly no shortage of material